WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often trying, reviewing, and evaluating rare and exotic whiskeys. Not sure how rare and exotic this is. Dalmore 15-year-old. Whiskybase number 146492, which means it was actually bottled in March 2019. 5 years ago. Wow. So we have American white oak on an Oloroso sherry finish, according to the Whiskybase here. We have 40% ABV, and I actually did a bottle share of this because I found it on my shelf, hidden back a little ways, and I said, oh, okay, wow. I did a bottle share for 79 euros. I think I paid 59 euros for it a couple of years ago. Might have been 65, but all right. Today, the price, at least in Germany, 97 euros for this 15-year-old bottle. Now, the trivia question of the day is, what is the most expensive, at least in Germany, standard 15-year-old whiskey that we have? I used between 40 and 46% ABV, and I said it has to have a sherry component to it. Do you know what's going to be the most expensive? Well, some of you might have guessed it already. Macallan. Double cask, 15-year-old, 168 euros is the going price. Springbank 15, 138 euros if you can find it. We have some special releases here from Tom & Tal, from Glencadam. We have special releases from Tomaten. And then we go over here to the Mortlach distillery label, 15-year-old, 100 euros. The Dalmore, 97 euros. Highland Park, 15-year-old Viking Heart, 95 euros. Linkwood Distillery Label, 15-year-old, 90 euros. Tamdhu, 15-year-old, 90 euros. Old Pulteney, as well as Balblair, 15-year-old, both of those 85 euros at the moment. So, and then we're going to go over to what I'm going to compare it to. We have Glendronach, 15-year-old. What is the price at the moment? It is 80 euros, 79.90. I remember when it used to be under 60 euros, but hey, I'm an old man. I've had whiskey in my glass now for the last 10 years, and things have changed. All right, so this is 27 euros cheaper than this. No, that's not right. It's 17 euros cheaper than this, and yet I can still recommend it instead. All right, so we have some other things. We now have also the Glenfarclas 15. That used to be under 50 euros, 80 euros now. Glengoyne 15-year-old, 75 euros. Wow. Ben Romach 15-year-old, 72 euros. And the whiskey that I'm going to compare it to as well is the old version of Glenallachie, 15-year-old. It's 72 euros. Now, the new version is 81 euros, and so things have changed a little bit for Glenallachie at the moment, which I'm a little bit sad about, to be honest. But that's what life is like in the year 2024. Prices have gone up. So, what are the cheapest 15-year-old whiskeys, standards, with a sherry influence? Well, in Germany, it's going to be Glenmorangie. 15-year-old, still 40 euros. I'm not a big fan of it. I'd rather spend my 40 euros for something else like a Glendronach 12 or a bourbon or an Irish whiskey, but that's something else. Knockandoo, 15-year-old, is about 42 euros. Singleton 15 is about 45 euros. Glenfiddich 15, Solera 48 euros. Speyburn 15, we're at 62 euros. Bowmore, 64 euros. Ben Rinnes, Flora and Fauna. That used to be something that was way, way out of our price league, or mine. When I was like, oh, that's an expensive bottle. That's a special bottle. That's a special occasion. It's cheaper than everything on the table by 15 euros, 65 euros. And the Ben Rinnes with sherry, it can have sulfur sometimes, but it's a very, very good product there. And so, yeah. Let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at the color. The lightest of the three is Glendronach. The darkest of the three is Glenallachie. And the second darkest, and it is fairly dark, is Dalmore. Now, Dalmore colors the whiskey. They put artificial E150A in there, and they are not natural color. These two are. Dalmore chill filters their products. That means before we put in the bottle, we chill, we cool down the whiskey to about 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and all the fatty acids that are in there actually start to come together, and it actually gets cloudy. Cloudy whiskey is, in many people's opinion, bad whiskey. It's actually the opposite. It's a sign. It's the Scottish mist. It's a sign of quality because the fatty acids with the flavor is still in the whiskey. But the industry wants to tell us something different. So they put artificial coloring in here. They chill filter it, and they fill it up at the absolute legal minimum for whiskey in Europe, 40%. These two are 46%. These two are non-chilled filter. These two are natural color. And they're cheaper. 72 euros, 79, 97. Ouch. Now, if this was the better tasting whiskey, I would go, yeah, I don't care. It might be worth the money. But my personal evaluation, I've done these blind. I've done these so many times. 1, 2, 3. And 3 with a big gap between them. All right? So let's nose them. All right? The first thing, if I nose this, it's very, very interesting. I get sour. I get like baby. I get lactic acid. Imagine a baby just was breastfed, and then it burps a little bit, and you have that nice little towel here, and then it just spits a little bit. That moment, that lactic acid moment, not nice. Not nice. I do get cherry. So I get cherry and a little bit of wood. Now it says here the aroma should be orange, marmalade, cinnamon, and nutmeg. So the cask curation. So the house style of this single malt is finished in different styles of. Well, they actually use the word style twice in one sentence. Not great. Different styles of sherry casks. Now, there are official sherry types that we can find in Scotland. Mazzanilla, Palo Cortado, Moscatel, Pedro Jimenez, Fino. Now, they use different names. They call it here Apostolis, Amoroso, and Methuselam. Now, they do say Methuselam Oloroso. Now, Methuselam is a special name for casks that are very old, 40, 50 plus years. And so, why not? But the question is, how many do they have, and why does every single bottling of Dalmore have Methuselam casks on there? So my question is, if they're using multiple casks here, how long was it in the Methuselam cask? 1 day, 1 month, 1 year? And the next question is, how many times have you reused those Methuselam casks? Once, twice, 12, 20 times? Just questions. All right? So, Glenallachie, a little bit more of that wood, that virgin oak. That's very nice. Berries. Over here, the Glendronach. European oak, dark chocolate, fruit, figs, raisins. Love it. All right. So who would have thought that the cheapest 15-year-old product on my table is the Glendronach today? All right. So they adapted Brown-Forman, put the prices up first, basically, and everyone else. That time did it as well. They put the prices up as one of the first, and everyone's followed since then. And Glenallachie has actually passed them now. Billy Walker, what are you doing? All right, Sláinte, let's try this. Oh, by the way, if I go from here, that sour note really kicks in. Ouch. Good. Cheers. Sláinte. Despite this being 40%, it's hot. There's a pepper, almost a ginger hotness to this. Probably due to running the pot stills a little too hot, a little too fast. Tamdu, for example, say they're the slowest distillation process. If you have too much heat, you'll actually get some type of elements in your distillate that you might not actually want if it was slowly processed instead of full power. Dalmore, 4.5 million liters. What is absolutely interesting, and I must admit that I just know this now because of this wonderful book, is they're building an expansion. I did not even know that. I kind of missed it. We love hating about Dalmore, but we don't talk about it much. It says here, for quite some time now, Dalmore has been closed to visitors, as part of the distillery grounds have been and still are a construction site. The visitors center itself will be refurnished, but there are also grander plans for the distillery afoot. With an investment of £40 million, White & Mackay aim to double the capacity of the distillery. A completely new still house is being built where the now demolished Saladin maltings used to stand. Apart from another 8 stills, so they have 8, so they'll have 16 in the future. The new distillery will have its own mash tun and washbacks. When finished in August 2024, Dalmore will have a total capacity of 9 million liters of alcohol, making it one of the top 10 largest malt distilleries in Scotland. Once the new plant is operational, the old distillery will be shut down for 3 months for upgrading and making it more sustainable. Wow. So, White & Mackay, £40 million. So they have Jora, they have Tamnavulin, and they have Fettercan as well as Dalmore in their product portfolio or distillery portfolio here. They actually own part of a grain production site as well. Amazing. All right, so this for me is a C- whiskey. I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to go out and buy a bottle. I like the bottle design, but we have exactly the same bottle design in the 12. My question of the day is going to be, what Dalmore can you recommend? All right, so I'm just going to go through the Dalmores that are available in Germany. We have the 12-year-old, 56 euros. We have the 1597. We have the Sherry Select 12-year-old, 70 euros. We have the King Alexander III. Yeah, 238 euros at the moment. Crazy. We have the Dalmore Portwood Reserve, 70 euros. We have the cigar malt, 1 liter bottle though, 128 euros. We have the Dalmore 25. Sit down, make sure. 1,300 euros. The Dalmore 21 is only 680 euros. The 18 is only 270 euros. And the 30-year-old Dalmore is 5,000 freaking dollars. Euros, I'm sorry. And it's 43.2%. And it just comes in the same bottle and just basically the same box. It's just like, wow, I'm spending $5,000 for a 30-year-old Dalmore. That's just sickening. All right, Glenallachie. I love the virgin oak in there. I love the fruitiness. It's a little bit more of a mineral type of moment. I always get mineral, a little bit of like marble. On this, a little bit of grapefruit, but a lot of fruit, a little bit of raisins, some figs, yummy. But my highlight has been and will be, for me personally, even blind have done this, almost always the Glendronach. This was Billy Walker basically put on the radar, put on the world's tasting list, and now he's at Glenallachie and doing great things. But this has more of that chocolate European oak moment here. Love me some good Glendronach 15-year-old. All right, so what is your favorite Dalmore product? And the last question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite 15-year-old single malt Scotch product, maybe with a touch of sherry or a lot of sherry in it, what would you recommend? Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.